Let's make a poolside cookie together with a beach towel and hat. This cookie includes a white crackle background. So before you bake your cookies, you're going to dilute some white food coloring. I didn't add very much water to it, just enough to thin it out. Otherwise, the white food coloring is a little too thick to paint on. And you're just using a food safe brush, a brush that has only been used on food, and you're painting onto your raw cookie dough. So this is before you've baked them. This is also before I freeze them, because I always freeze my cookies before I bake them. So this is in real time on the first one. And you'll see that I get almost some like beading of it, and I just keep painting till the cookie is fully covered in white. There's going to be a few spots where it kind of peeks through a little bit. That's okay. We just want to make sure that everything is as covered as possible on these cookies. Now, 2 of the cookies in this set have this white background. It is totally optional if you want to do that. What it does is it just creates a little crackle effect. And so you can see here the difference between the baked cookie that's in my hand on the bottom versus the one that I have painted above it. Grab your edible pen or your scribe. I actually found scribe to be way more helpful on this white painted cookie background because you could really see your lines when you drew it on. And we're going to do a diagonal rectangle. This is going to be our towel on the cookie. I made 3 of these cookies. Every single one looks slightly different, so don't worry if they don't all look the same. You don't have to align where your rectangle is, and that's also why I'm turning my cookie so much, because I'm like, where does it make sense for me to draw this line? After you have a relative rectangle kind of off of your cookie, you know something that would make this easier? Because this is so close to the shape of the cookie cutter, if you took your cookie cutter and just like put it at an angle and then stamped it onto your cookie. That's hitting me right now. Anywho, we're going to put 4 stripes on this cookie, so we need 3 lines. Yes, that's the correct math for that. So I tried doing one down the middle and then splitting that one in half. You can tell I wasn't super successful in how well I drew these. It's okay, we're gonna fix it. And then you're gonna draw 2 circles. This is gonna make our hat, and it's gonna overlap your towel. That's okay. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do this together. So start with that first one. If you have something to trace, obviously that's always easier. But if not, you can see I just freehanded it. We're making a cookie. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're also beginners. So is it going to be perfect? No, but it's going to be great and it's going to be edible. And that's the most important part of a cookie. After you've scratched all these things in, take your cookie over a trash can or something and just scrape off the crumbs because they will get in your way. And then bring it back to your decorating table and grab your orange icing because we are going to outline 2 of these long skinny rectangles on our towel to be orange because this towel is alternating orange and pink. Perfect. So I'm just doing long lines. I love rectangles. I talk about not liking piping lines when your lines have to be really precise, but otherwise I really like piping lines because what you do is tap down where your icing needs to start and lift up your piping bag and let the icing flow out, and it just makes your lines smooth. If you try and keep your piping bag right against that cookie, you are not going to have smooth lines. And then I'm coming in with my pink, and I'm going to outline the pink sections. And it makes it a little bit harder, particularly on the pink, because the pink is more off the cookie than the orange is. So you can see I have a little bit more angles when I'm piping the pink sections than I did on the orange sections. But that's okay because it's all lines in the end, except for, well, not even except that little tiny piece is a line, but it's so small. My pink was also very thin and runny, so I kept having a lot kind of falling out of the piping bag. That's why I am consistently kind of like taking the pink out of frame because I'm wiping it off on my paper towel next to me. And then after we have these outlined, we don't need any sort of extra dry time or anything. We're coming right in with that orange and we're filling in the orange sections. And you'll see I'm not getting right up against that line. There's still some gapping between my outlined orange and where I'm piping my orange, but I'm relatively just trying to fill the area. One thing that takes a lot of practice when it comes to cookie decorating is getting enough icing onto the cookie, which feels a little crazy because you're decorating a cookie, there's icing on the cookie, how hard can it be? But to get a really even look and not have it look too thin, really wobbly, it probably took me like a decade to really get into it. And now I tried to make a sample cookie to really show the difference, and I sucked at it. Now I have the opposite problem. I am almost always putting enough icing on the cookie because I had so many kind of wavy looking cookies. All of that's beside the point. You can see the icing is domed here, and then I'm just grabbing my scribe and making sure I'm going edge to edge on the orange. And then once that's evened out, I'm gonna wipe my scribe off on my paper towel next to my decorating, and I'm going to grab my pink and repeat the process. And you can see this flowing out of my piping bag way faster than the orange was, because like I said, it's thinner. It was kind of a pain in the butt to deal with, but I didn't feel like adding some powdered sugar to it to thicken it up, which is what I should have done. It would have been super simple. Like a tablespoon of powdered sugar would have taken care of this super fast. But the plus side is I don't have a lot to do with my scribe. One thing I will note, I was just talking about adding enough icing. If I had added just a little bit more pink icing, this towel would almost look flat, because I would have the same amount of icing between each section. Does it matter? No, the towel is going to look good in the end. Everything's going to totally even out, but it's the little things that can improve your decorating over time. Once you get this all evened out, again, wipe off your scribe, set it aside, and then you're going to set this cookie aside, work on however many other cookies you want to work on, and then come back to it. What we're looking to do is letting it crust over. So it was really shiny. That's how we know we have wet icing. And we want it to crust over because we're going to put some icing on top of it, and we want that icing to stand out a little bit. And we're working on the hat. So we're starting on that outside ring, and you're just going to guesstimate where that line's going to go by following the curve. I feel like I did a really good job on this particular one. I did not do as good of a job on some of the other ones, especially this inner circle, just because there's less circle to work with on this curve right here, but it's okay. Once we have our outline, we're going to fill it in with the blue. What I like to do is add more of that icing below where the towel is sitting and a little bit less above it, so that it doesn't look like outrageously thick when it's over the towel. So you can see I just didn't add quite as much sitting on the towel, and so I'm also going to very gently use my scribe and try and stay right on top of this icing instead of sometimes I go really deep using my scribe. I'm trying to avoid that so I don't disturb the icing below it. And then after that's spread out, we set it aside again because we want that to crust over. All of this just creates some dimension. When we get that little bit of crust with our icing, it creates dimension from step to step. And so this went from being glossy to a little bit matte. That's how we know it's crusted over. We don't need to touch it or anything. And then we're going to come in with our blue icing again and just fill in the center section. And you don't need to worry about it getting like super, super full of icing. The more icing you add to this area, the more likely it's going to look like it deflated, which some of my hats look that way. And honestly, it kind of works. And then you're also going to grab your orange icing. You could have done this on the last step. For some reason, I just did it towards the end. And you're going to add these little V's off of your towel. They're going to kind of blend together a little bit because we're using a hybrid icing, but frankly, I think it kind of works. I also discovered about halfway through that I liked it better if you started at the towel and went out instead of starting off of the towel, hitting the towel, and then going back out. I just thought they looked a little cleaner, and then I changed my technique again. So who am I? Who am I to tell you what to do here? Anywho, you're going to set this cookie aside after you finish that. Honestly, like a day. You want this to be fully dry, and then you're going to grab your scribe and you're going to do this new to me technique. I saw it recently. I can't remember who I saw it from, but I thought it was so cool. And you're going to scratch onto your blue icing. This is why you want it to be completely dry, because if you try this on a semi-dried but not fully dried cookie, you're just going to go right through that icing and it's not going to work. And you'll play around with how much pressure you need to do. I found it was more pressure than I expected. But also, if you stay really light, you just get little light scratches and it totally works. So you're going to do lines from the outside in. You're going to repeat that on the center of the hat as well. But they don't need to be any sort of consistent. They don't need to be equal distance apart or anything like that. And then after you have all those lines, you're going to do kind of semicircle scratches around the hat as well, because we're making this look like it's one of those woven hats that you wear at the summertime that are really thin. I initially was going to have us pipe this, but I don't like piping lines. I don't think my hybrid icing pipes very well in lines, and that feels really difficult and like it would be really blobby. And then I came across this scratching technique and I thought it was absolutely perfect. The most difficult part is you have to wait for your cookie to dry. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I think it really brings this hat and towel cookie together. And then also, if you don't like a partially naked cookie, like we started with this painted cookie, what I did another trial cookie that I had a white. I did all of the outline outside of the towel and outside of the hat white. I piped that first, and then I came in and did the other steps in the same exact order. So then I did the towel and then I did the steps of the hat. So then you had almost an even layer of icing down. So you had fully iced cookie. But either way, that completes our towel and hat cookie. This is one of 4 cookies in the Pool cookie set. Download the free guide in the link below and give them a try.